So imagine, if you will, that you're a game developer and you pay an influencer to play your game and he ends up playing it, quote, like a fucking moron. Well, that exact thing happened to co-founder of Rockfish Games, Michael Shade. Throwing the shade there, I think that's how you pronounce it. If it's Shade or anything like that, I'm just going with Shade.
Yeah, because that's what he done.
So Michael Shade, indie developer known for the game Everspace and the Galaxy on Fire series. Everspace was kickstarted in 2015 and became a surprise hit when it released in 2017 with over 400,000 copies sold across Xbox and PC. And he was talking at the Reboot Developer Tour conference, which was specifically about social media marketing on a budget. This is notable because it's not kind of language that you normally get from developers, right?
No, it's not. No, people are usually a lot more, I would say, cool about things. And if maybe they work with someone and it didn't pan out very well, it's not often that they would then go public with comments like effing moron. Yeah. So it is pretty unusual.
Imagine in any other industry where you had a client, right? Not happy with their work, you call them a fucking moron. I mean, for me, I think it's as strong as funny. It's for one, funny. Yeah. And two, I don't know, I like the guy. I like the guy for like wearing his heart on his sleeve and calling the guy out, because there are more details, I'll go into it, right? So Shade paid a streamer, right? And he says that he paid 5,000 euros per hour. Right, but you had to book him for 2 hours of a stream, of course, you know, because streamers don't work by the hour. They got out of bed for less than 5,000 euros. So 10,000 euros they paid this guy, right? And he comes on stream, and apparently this is a quote, right? Actually, his opening line was, "I have to stop playing Destiny 2 now because I'm on a sponsored stream to play a space game, and I don't like space games." And he played like a complete moron, a fucking moron. It's funny.
I mean, you got to consider where he was, I suppose, and you think maybe some of these developers and stuff, from my kind of limited experience in this kind of thing, they do feel like they can open up a bit more. Like if it's a develop conference or whatever it was, you can say things to an audience that you think maybe this won't get out. This is just me and the audience here. It's like a stand-up comedian doing a show at a small venue, rather than, you know, on a televised, you know, rather than the thing he's going to put out on a DVD. It's a bit more of like an intimate thing. So maybe he's relaxed a little bit more and he's kind of feeling a little bit more confident, feeling like I can say this and it won't come back at me. But he forgot about the internet and that, didn't he?
Yeah, the internet is a thing, unfortunately, these days, so you can't get away with anything.
Yeah, exactly.
And having paid the guy 10 grand, you'd expect a little more enthusiasm than, I guess I'll have to do this then for my 10 grand. Yeah. That is a bit of a cheek, right? And I don't blame him at all for calling him a fucker. He deserves it and more. He hasn't named the streamer, didn't say who it was. I would love to find out. That'd be a juicy bit of info.
I mean, I like the kind of the fact that this has come about because he's paid someone 10,000 euros to essentially do a job, and then they haven't really done the job for him. Because you pay 10,000 euros, that's marketing. That's like marketing budget, and the streamer's supposed to go, this is a good game. This is well, not necessarily a good game, but this is fun. I like this thing about it. I like this thing about it, and maybe even you can get it over here at this store. There's a link in the description or whatever. It's like he's not upheld this part of the bargain by opening it up and going, I can't be asked doing this, and then playing it badly. It's like he's not put the graft in beforehand or anything to earn those 10,000 euros. Remember, 10,000 euros.
Yeah. Well, Michael Shade puts a lot of the blame onto the marketing company who arranged the deal, right? Got the deal together between both parties. And he says out of the 20 influencers that he paid, only 5 of them worked out. So there's a lot of wasted money there. And in terms of marketing, like, influencers is a big thing these days in the game industry. We spoke recently about Jade Raymond, an EA exec, discussed recently about all the different roles that are in the games industry these days, with influencers playing a huge part of that. For me, it might be crossing the line paying somebody to be positive about a game where, you know, they might not feel that.
It feels like this has been an issue for a few years, and we've seen it in a lot of quite high-profile games. And I don't know, it's kind of this murky undercurrent for me, where you've got really prominent vocal gaming critics and stuff like that on YouTube, and then you've got a lot of people kind of beneath that, like an undercurrent, that just, they've got their own audience, and then they will just play games and they'll just talk about those games. And sometimes, you know, there was the disclosure problem as well on YouTube, where people weren't really disclosing that they were sponsored streams, and now that has kind of changed, or sponsored Let's Plays or whatever as well on YouTube, obviously. They weren't really disclosing things properly, so that has kind of changed. And now we've seen, even with the review code and stuff, we have to put in the description, if we get review code, we have to, the companies say, you've got to say this code was provided by Sony or whatever, and you've got to mention that because they need that transparency now. That wasn't there a couple of years ago, so things have kind of improved. But yes, but dropping 10 grand on a streamer is like. You do very much think that's not cool, is it?
I actually enjoyed the game. I played it, and it was a decent game. So there you go. And if anybody wants to pay us to say anything,
10 grand, for example,
we definitely won't be playing it like a moron.
The shit out of it.
Yeah, we'll be really enthusiastic. Just remember that. So on that note. Jokes aside, what do you think about this story? Let us know down in the comments below. If you liked the video, click the thumbs up button. There's some more content on your screen that's just about to pop up. We'll see you again in the next one. Until then, bye for now.